Just checking on my monitors, making sure that everything is working here. Looking good. So let me just go over here. Magnificent beings. Oh my goodness. Is it working? If you happen to see me, say hello in the comments. There's always a little delay when I get started here. But I will trust it's all working. Yep, I see it's coming on now. Yep, definitely a little delay. All right. Hello, magnificent beings. It is Eva Gregory here, and I just want to welcome you to our Successful Spiritual Entrepreneur weekly Facebook Live training. Today's topic is how you're letting your best clients go. Basically, it's stop letting your best clients go. Hey, Magdalena, good to see you, lovely lady. For those of you who are new, and we did welcome a few new people in again today, I'm Eva Gregory. I'm the founder of the Successful Spiritual Entrepreneur Community and also the founder of the Enlightened Business Success Academy, where we help you integrate inner guidance with the proven practical business strategies that are working today to consistently attract more of your divine clients without compromising your spirit and values. So welcome to all of you who are new. Welcome to all of you who have been with me for a while. And also just wanted to say, whether you're catching this live with me here or on the replay, let me know who you are, where you're calling in from as I'm going through this. If you have any nuggets that are coming up, put hashtag nugget and whatever the nugget is that you have. And if you have questions, put those in as well, because I always come back and I look at these and catch the comments on the replay. So I am sure to respond to you there. All righty. So the title of today is Stop Letting Your Best Clients Get Away. And you know, when you think about that, stop letting your best clients get away. I mean, it brings up this strong mental image. It's like, there you are, you're sitting at your breakfast nook counter and you're reading a book or the paper, or maybe you're writing in your journal, and then one by one, your best clients are slipping away and out the door. Boom! All right, so maybe that's not your vision. It might be a little different than mine, but that is in effect what's happening with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs. And so today what I want to do is, let's look at the 7 steps to make sure that you retain the clients that you want to retain. Stop letting those opportunities walk out the door, or to position yourself to be attracting your clients as well. In other words, we need to attract them and then retain them, right? Hey, Miss Diane, good to see you. All right. So there are many facets to client retention, but today we're going to focus specifically on ways to stop people either from sitting on the fence, like they're trying to make a decision. They can't decide if they want to part with their money, as well as any missed opportunities that maybe you haven't even realized are sitting in front of you. All right. So step number 1 is design the experience. Landing and retaining your divine clients, your ideal clients, does not happen by accident. This happens when you know your ideal client. You know your client so well that you're able to pretty much predict every step of their journey. All right. And so if you don't know your clients that well, we're going to have some opportunity to help you with that that's coming up. And I'll share more about that towards the end of the training today. But you want to know things like, what is the type of client? Who are the clients, first of all? Who are they? What is it that you help them with? What's the pain they have? And what is it they want to accomplish? Who do they want to become? So you want to be looking at that. And you also want to understand, what's your client life cycle? I know these are things a lot of people aren't thinking about, especially if you're new in business. But even if you're new, in fact, especially if you're new, these are the things to start thinking about now rather than learning about it later. May as well set the business up to run the way it's supposed to run from the get-go. And if you've been in business a while, no time like the present to organize things so that they're working for you even better, right? You also want to know, what is their degree of emotional commitment to you as a coach, as a healer, as a holistic practitioner, as a spiritual entrepreneur who's here to serve them? What is that emotional commitment that they have? What is the likelihood of them achieving results? So you also want to be looking at that. Hey, and here's one. What's the likelihood of them recommending you? Hello. So these are things to be thinking about up front, so that you're already in your messaging and your promotions and your Facebook lives or in your copy, you are responding to these things. You also want to know what is their income and their lifestyle patterns. Noticing the patterns of behavior is going to help you design your client's experience, not only so they invest in every opportunity you give them to work with you, but also so they can receive the best help that you're able to offer them. Life cycle, yes, Diane, absolutely, absolutely. So this becomes easier, by the way, when you start to know their patterns of behavior. You start to get very clear about who your client is, what makes them tick, how they operate. It becomes easier if you care about and you know your clients well. It's easier to connect with them. It's easier for them to see that you are the one they need to be working with, right? Not even just those who are ideal, and of course that's always what we want to look at. Who is your divine ideal client? And ideally, who are those high-end clients that are perfect for what you have to offer? However, you can also look at, what about those clients who present unique challenges as well? Haha, didn't think I'd go there, did you? So the key questions with the latter type of client, those that might present unique challenges, are you want to be asking yourself, will they ultimately benefit with my help if I can help them overcome those challenges? Okay, can they really turn into my ideal high-end clients? Can I help them transform to a higher level of income or transformation or experience or lifestyle, depending on what it is that you offer? Okay, so yes, we focus on who is your divine client, who are your high-end clients, but sometimes there are those who might present unique challenges to you that can become those divine high-end clients, right? Hey, Miss Sarah, good to see you. All right, so there are, contrary to popular belief, there are actually three types of clients who have the potential to become your ideal high-end clients. One is the obvious one. It is the high-end client. These are the ones that are driven, they get the value. So those are the obvious ones. That's number one. The second one is the kicking and screaming client. Okay. Yes, they are known to be around. Anyone here had a kicking and screaming client? Let me know in the comments below. Even if you're on the replay, let me know. And then there is, of course, the tire kicker client. So it's really up to you to decide whether or not you wish to include the latter two types of clients in your business, the kicking and screaming and the tire kicker clients. All right. So let's just break this down quickly. First of all, the high-end client, those are the obvious ones. They're a delight, they're a dream. She is driven. She is easily guided towards identifying her goal. She takes action. She does it in a positive way. She's proactive until she reaches that goal. She understands value, and she is more than happy. In fact, she expects to pay top dollar for your programs, your products, and your services because she knows it's going to get her results. All right. So this type of client is the cream of the crop. This is the client that will build your reputation, that will sing your praises, and makes you feel like the work that you do is so rewarding and worthwhile, right? Then there is the kicking and screaming client. Now, this one's a little more of a challenge. It can be very frustrating to work with them. It's almost like this client has an objection to anything you suggest, right? So if you've ever had this client, God knows I have, the client that says, oh, yeah, but, and you're working with them, yeah, but, right? I say, you must be kin to Bertha Butt and the Butt Sisters. That's who I call those people, the yeah buts, right? But the real question you want to think about is, Do you regard this type of a client as a challenge or a punishment? So is this a challenge that you're interested in stepping up to, or do you feel it's a punishment? So this is going to help you decide, is this someone I really want to work with or not? A lot of people love working with these types of clients. So there's not a wrong answer. There's just which one's aligned with you. Do you still see real potential to help them change? And so if you can identify why she seems to raise those types of objection after objection after objection, then you can make a decision and decide whether or not it's worthwhile for you to pursue that type of client. I know that there are some people who live for those types of clients, and it's great because they're perfect for them, and those clients do finally step up and the transformation actually happens. So an example of that type of client, maybe she or he, I always say she, is raising objections because certain life events have caused her to lack confidence, and if your specialty is helping people with their confidence and shifting their mindsets, you might see this client as rewarding. You might see this as a cool challenge that when you get her to shift her mindset and to change the way she's feeling and the stories she's telling, this could be one of your greatest success stories. And this also has happened for me, is having a client where you felt like, oh my gosh, are they ever going to get it? And you feel like you're working really hard, which you should not be feeling that way. And then it all comes together and they become your best success story. So there's nothing wrong with these kinds of clients. I just want you to be considering, is this the type of person that you love to rise to that kind of challenge and work with? All right. They can be some of the best advertisement for your business when you create results for these types of clients. Then there's a client that might want to defer responsibility, or they vent, or they are secretly wanting you to do it for them. Okay. I can't imagine, unless you are charging the big bucks to be doing something for a client. I'm talking about those that are not. So, if they're getting them and they need to do the work, but they're looking at you to do it, this is probably not someone that you want to work with. These are the kinds of clients that can actually chip away at your own confidence and take energy away from you. And not only that, it takes the energy away from you, which means it's taking it away from some of your other clients. So, and I'm thinking specifically in group situations, right? So a client like that could bring down the quality of the group interaction with that type of negativity and naysaying, all right? So the key to you making the right choice when it comes to the kicking and screaming clients is just to pay attention to how it makes you feel. Always comes down to that, doesn't it? Go back into your inner guidance, how it feels for you. And if you see that kind of a challenge is positive, go for it. There is someone to help everyone, all right? And you might be the person that is there for those people, okay? Maybe that energizes you. So if so, awesome, go for it. Clearly, that's what you're here to do. And then there is the tire kicker client. And the tire kicker can be very frustrating because she is usually trying but never buying, right? They're the tire kickers. Let me just see if I like this, or they're always and only signing up for the free stuff, but and really asking the questions and wanting more of you. And this is where you have to really be clear of your boundaries. That's something that we teach in the Enlightened Business Success Academy, and something that in some of my 5-day workshops that we work with you guys on, if that's an issue for you. Or they just don't have the income, and that's a little bit different. Like they really want the transformation and they just don't have the income. And the cure for this can be pretty simple. If she doesn't have the income, but she really wants the transformation, you want to be considering, what can you be, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but what could you be offering that would help her where she is right now, so that she can eventually become your divine high-end client but you're not leaving them hanging right now. Okay. The other flip side of this is if it's the tire kicker that is just, I'm just here for the free stuff and to see how much I can get. Do not, you be clear. There's ways to get clear on who these people are. You want to make clear that you're not offering your free strategy sessions to these people. That's why there should be a qualifying questionnaire. And the other thing, which I highly recommend you do, that I do as well, and that is you want to spell out on your website or your sales pages exactly who you are here to serve and who you're not, so that you can have these people self-select themselves in or out depending on what you're sharing on your website. Okay. Because if you do that and they self-select, then it'll be very clear. So you'll have less of the non-ideal clients. You'll be attracting less of the non-ideal clients and be attracting more of your ideal clients. Don't be afraid. I know a lot of you want to be all things to all people and you want to just say yes to everyone. That's not serving them and it's not serving you. All right. So I will just leave that there for right now. But just know that if you can assess whether or not you can help someone, then offer something that does not take your time, but is of value that can help them create some transformation or move to the first step or that first level on their way to becoming an ideal client that you can work with, right, at a higher level. So that would be things like maybe if you have a free Facebook group where you offer training, perfect place to have them. If you have a book that you've written that might help them, you could offer the book, okay? Or even offer an accompanying workbook. I did that many years ago, especially when everything I was doing was all law of attraction back then. And then I would just offer my book, and then I created a workbook to actually go with my book, The Feel Good Guide to Prosperity, so that they could start to learn how do you do this for yourself? How do you start to shift and understand the power of law of attraction and energy alignment and mindset? It all kind of goes together, right? So that they could start moving towards becoming an ideal client for you. Pre-recorded quick online courses, if you have something free like that. The only thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't leave yourself out of the equation when you're considering what you want to create to offer for those who aren't quite ready to work with you. Make sure that you are choosing options that feels good to you and options that you can provide very easily and does not take your time. Does that make sense? Hey, Diane, love these guidelines. Yes, awesome. Okay. A big part of this, of course, goes back to what I was saying at the front of all of this, and that's to know your client, your ideal client, right? Who that divine client is inside out, to the point that you can determine which of the alternatives this person will benefit the most from. Okay, so knowing who your client is, knowing which one of those types of clients. Do you want to work with the high-end clients? Do you want to work with those that are the kickers and screamers, but that can come around? That's the challenge. And then there are the tire kickers who might be tire kickers for a couple of reasons. They either just only want the free stuff, which, love them and let them have your free stuff, or the ones that really just can't afford you and they really want to get, the transformation, and then you have something that you can provide for them. Okay. And then of course there's another type of potential clients, and I alluded to that just a minute ago, and that is the do it for me client. This is different from clients where you're charging to do things for them, like done for you services. This is the one who's coming to you for help and your normal capacity, but they're still expecting you to do it all for them. I learned this one way back when, early on, like one of my first 2 or 3 clients I ever had back in 1999. Yes, it's been a while, but I learned this one really fast, and I was like, oh my God, they're expecting me to do it. And me, in my naivety, thought, well, if that's what she wants and if I'm going to be a good coach, I should be doing that for her. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Okay. No, yes, no tire kickers, and definitely no do it for me clients. All right. Sometimes the kicking and screaming clients can be a do it for me client in disguise. So you want to pay attention to that, right? Um, but that particular attitude is a big red flag. It's just, they don't want to do the work. That we all have to take responsibility for our own success, and we have to do the work. Even when we have coaches and mentors, certainly I have mine, and she's expecting me to do the work, honey. Believe me, I'm a very good client, though. I'm there to do it. I will give 1,000%, and you know what, so does she. So it's a match made in heaven. All right. So there you go. Those are some of your options there. It's just up to you to know your clients well enough to be able to identify those differences. And then you can provide the alternatives or any interim steps if you think that that's worthwhile and that will move them into eventually becoming your ideal clients. But whatever you choose, whatever client mix you choose, just do it with one thing in mind, and that is that you are creating, developing, or moving them to, and your focus is on your divine high-end clients. Okay? That's the focus. And like I said, you can help some of these people get there, but the ultimate goal for you is to be working with your divine high-end clients. All right, that's step number 1. Step number 2, know your client's life cycle. Okay, and this will be in direct relationship to your coaching, the goals and promises that you offer, and it will also determine what extra products or options or packages that you might offer, because these extra products or options, this is going to be a powerful incentive to have your best clients stay with you for more. Okay, they're wanting to give more, so just be thinking about that. You don't have to create everything all at once. So I'm not telling you all this to get you into overwhelm, especially if you're just getting started. You want to get started, you start with one-on-one clients, and then based on what you're learning, and a lot of stuff we'll be giving you training in here about, and then you can determine what would be the next logical step or offer for these people. Okay. And you can maximize your clients' life cycles by adding those attractive, useful strategies, even for exit strategies. So let's say you're completing with a client. What are some alternative options you might make available to them, right? So that's something else to consider. And then you can also extend the life cycle by adding higher value packages or events that re-engage clients. Maybe they have already worked with you in the past, and you can actually go back and bring them back in, or invite them back in. Or there are those who are ready to graduate from whatever they're doing with you now, and now they're ready to go up to a higher level with you. So things to be thinking about at that level would be things like VIP days if you don't offer them. VIP clubs. You could actually create a club of, an elite group of folks that you work with. And a group level, you could have mastermind retreats, whether that's online or offline. And clearly, after 2020, online is the way to go these days, and which is awesome. And of course, as soon as we get back to being able to do the real face-to-face stuff, those are really great too. But some of the questions you want to ask yourself is, how much can my work directly help my client create the transformation she's here to create? Okay, and so you might be doing that at one level or with one way. Maybe it's one-on-one, or you have a group program. But how can you actually elevate that? How can you take that deeper? How can you take her deeper? And that can happen in things like masterminds, VIP days. Inner sanctums is what I call mine, right? But know that you can help them, and when they know that you can help them to take something deeper, whether, by the way, it's a money-making thing that you do or not. Transformation, when people want transformation, transformational is valuable, whether it's directly related to making more money or not. I know that when I got into business in 1999, nothing I talked about was about business. It was all about law of attraction back then. And I made a very, very healthy living by helping people in all these different areas of their life by applying law of attraction. Okay, so some of it was money, some of it was, but some of it wasn't. It was health, it was relationships, it was mindset, it was confidence, it was teaching them how to create, take responsibility and create energetically for themselves, which of course that does result in physical results, right? So, whatever it is that you do is of value, even if it's not directly related to making money. I just want to highlight that because I know that that's something that comes up a lot. So, that's that. So there you go. That's step number 2, really getting and understanding your client and that life cycle. Then step 3 is making the most of clients who are leaving. Maybe you're completing with your clients. And this is, one of the great ironies, especially of the coaching industry or the coaching life, is that most opportunities in work with clients are lost at this stage when they are ready to complete. At first, that might seem obvious, but maybe not. But the way that the attrition of clients, especially for coaches, healers, holistic practitioners, is that there's something called silent attrition. Okay, silent attrition. This is where clients might be still on your books somehow, but they're not active. They're not engaging with you. That might be in a membership, it could be in a group program, and then they just kind of drift away, and then they're not going to be renewing. Okay, so you might have 6 clients on paper, but 4 of them haven't renewed. Okay, and if only 2 of them are paying you regularly, that is what I call silent attrition. All right. Now, the solution here is anticipate this, that there's going to be an end to the work you're doing with them. And especially if you have group programs, those probably come to an end. If you have coaching packages, those come to an end. But those packages can then be renewed if you are thinking proactively about this. All right. So one of the ways, of course, to keep it active is Facebook groups, of course. Have that Facebook group around common goals that your clients share, and then you maintain your regular contact, whether they're paying or not. This is a place to create relationships, guys. It's a place to create relationships. It's a place to give such massive value, and to help people, and know that when the time comes, then you are going to be the one that they want to work with. But don't be afraid of giving first. Give. I never worry about giving too much. I don't. I will give stuff that's out of my paid programs. You just can't. I personally don't believe that you can overgive. Now you can overgive by overwhelming, which is different. Like if you give them a fire hose and then there's like, blah, 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 I don't even know what to do now. That's a different issue. But this whole abundance mindset is I can give my best stuff and not worry about giving away and losing out of that. In fact, that is what creates for me. If someone is thinking about for yourselves, guys, ladies, if you're giving such massive value, they're going to like, oh my God, if you're giving this for free, what in the heck are you going to give in your paid programs, right? That's the level of quality I want to be known for sure. The other thing you can do with your clients, current and past, is if it's a match, you can actually partner with them, like joint venture partners, right? That creates a win-win for both of you. They love you, so they want to sing your praises and for something you're promoting. And of course, that means they're a great testimonial for you, for sure. So you've got that as well. And maybe they'll come back into doing something later, but even for now, you've got this great connection, okay? So I hope this is spinning some wheels for you. All right, let's move on to the next client exit scenario. And that's, it's losing clients because it's not the right fit, all right? And one of the best things you can do is to disqualify clients, but do it up front. That means letting people know letting those followers of yours know up front whether or not they'll be wasting their time as well as yours. So it's their time's being wasted as well if it's not a fit by engaging with you. One of the biggest problems in attracting people who don't convert into clients or who exit early after you've invested a lot of time with them, and maybe they've even taken up client spots and they're not your ideal client. That happens when you don't spell out who your ideal client is and who is not. And you do this ahead of time. Do it on your website. Do it on your sales pages. All right. You want to let them know in advance. Do not be afraid. But oh my gosh, but what if that repels somebody? Well, if it does, they're not a fit. If what they're reading doesn't work for them. Okay. So one of the things, like as an example, I have on my well, I don't. I'm getting ready to announce my new website, guys. I'm hoping it happens next week, so it's not on that one. But on my sales page, like for the Enlightened Business Success Academy, I have a very clear, this is for you if, and this is not for you if. And I'm very clear on who this is for, so that if someone comes and they read this is not for you, and they're saying you're right, because, that's not a fit for me, especially, I would say this is for you and this is not for you. You don't only want to say this is not for you. Actually spell out who it is for as well. But for me, it's like, if you don't have a business, you have no business signing up for that program. Another one for me for the Enlightened Business Success Academy and everything that I do, which you'll learn right here as well, is if you're looking for, I just want, give me the template, give me the blueprint, give me the one size fits all cookie cutter approach. You're not going to get it with me. You're going to, which means that there's going to be some work on your part, because we're going to make sure that what you do is going to be customized to you. All right. One size fits all cookie cutter approaches, they rarely work anyway, because we are unique. I always say we are unique. You are not a cookie. Okay. So no cookie cutter for you. All right. The other thing is, I'm very clear. If you want to get complicated and you want to develop all of these funnels of these little programs and products and packages, and that's really not, I'm not interested in helping you with that either. So this would not be a program for you. If you want to keep it simple, great. And that's why it depends on where you are in your business, depends on where you start in the program. So everybody's not going through the same thing at the same time, because that might not be for you. And why waste your time doing that? Okay. And the other one, of course, especially because of my spiritual entrepreneurs that I attract, one that's very much, it's not for you if you think you can meditate your way to millions without putting in the required resources and time and effort. Now, the resources, time, and effort can still be aligned, energetically aligned first, but you better believe that if you think that you're going to just be energetically aligned and it's all going to come to you, that it will. Now, I'll tell you what does happen in this program is people will say, oh my gosh, someone just called me, someone just signed up. It wasn't from anything I did, but they're starting to raise their hand. That's the energy alignment. But even with the energy alignment, you need to also be in action, inspired action, okay? So yeah, I'm a little bit sarcastic on that one, if you need to meditate your way to millions, but you got my point, all right? I know that a colleague of mine says you shouldn't work with me if you're not ready to commit to the process and do the work. That's actually one of mine as well. She says, you shouldn't work with me if you think that people are, if you're a victim, if you're playing the victim mode and you think people are out to get you, or the world is a bad place, or, it's being done to you. That's actually a good one I should add to mine. Also, if you're not sure whether you need coaching or you need a therapist. Now, the types of people that she works with, there could be some that really would be better suited for therapy and not coaching. So that's why she has that on her site. All right, but I love it. She says, you're not, let me see. Let me get my notes out here. Where does she say? She says, you are not sure whether you need a coach or a therapist. I don't do trauma, depression, or relationship problems. There are so many amazing coaches out there who might. It's just not my cup of tea. So that's kind of her tongue-in-cheek way of saying. But now people are clear, right? And so it's very specific in disqualifying people. Is this making sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me come over here and see if I can. All right. Or maybe you're over here. Let me see. I'm trying. I got comments go on both sides. Oh, they're not rolling up. Yes, Diane. Yes. Awesome. Yes. So, when she uses that statement that, hey, if you're not sure you need coaching or therapy, I don't do trauma, depression, blah, 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 what she said, she's actually saving potential clients rejection when they find out it's not a fit, or embarrassment by then having the conversation, bring them in and say, you know what, you really need to be talking to somebody else. So it just nips all of that in the bud. It's always good to get it out ahead of time in any case, right? All right, so qualify your clients, qualify your potential clients before you have the deeper conversations with them where you can. And when you pre-qualify in this way, then when you are finally having the conversations with the potential clients, you're going to have a lot more of those saying yes, because you're speaking to your divine clients and not those that are not. There's nothing more, not debilitating is not the word. Can't think of the word, but if you start talking to people, well, that's not a fit, and they said no, and that was not a fit, demoralized, that's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, so the more you can qualify them up front and be clear about it, then they're clear, and by the time you have a conversation with them, they know that, and they're ready to work with you. Or maybe if it's not, they know that they're on the way to working with you, or in some different capacity. Okay. All right, so some of the hidden opportunities with disqualifications, when clients are exiting, whether you want them to or not, let's look at how you can keep those engaged until they're ready to either come back to work with you, if they haven't started yet, that they become your divine client. Or you can use that exit to create goodwill, and to create word of mouth reputation building. Of course, with all of your clients, that's an opportunity. Okay, so let's say a potential client follows you to your pricing page. They're following your nurture sequence, whatever, and they go to your pricing page before they sign up for the free breakthrough session with you. And she literally realizes that there's no way that she can afford your high-end package. All right, she just can't. She can't afford $1,000 or $1,500 a month. Have you given her an alternative that can still help her, that will help her move to the point where she can then eventually work with you? So this is something to think about, because there's a lot of opportunity for those who aren't ready yet, but they will be later, and you don't want to ignore them. All right, does this make sense? Yes, no, maybe so? All right, I'm going to assume those are yeses if I don't hear from you. All right, so keep her engaged, and you do that with things like Facebook groups, like this group, and providing value and giving you things that you can take and go use right away, and to create some results for yourself. All right. So the other thing too, of course, is if they want to work with you in some way, is to have that lesser priced product or service that does not take your time. All right. And the beauty of this approach is that you are able to still provide value for these beautiful beings, and you can help them make that transformation in either their business or their lifestyle or their energy or their health, whatever your work is, so that eventually she will be ready to commit to your higher end programs and services at another time. All right, so we welcome them all in. The only ones that we really want to repel, I guess if you want to call that, are the tire kickers that have no they're the takers, right? There's no interaction or back and forth, or the ones that really just want to sit back and have you do everything for them. That's a clear no. Okay. What else can you do? Oh, I know. The other thing is, be okay if a client is, or a potential client is not a fit for you. Be okay to refer them out to someone else. I do this all the time. Okay. And it works really well when you have somebody who that's a better fit for different reasons. So if you have colleagues who work with people, your same clientele, but on different things, you all can actually be referral systems for each other. All right. What else? I think that was it. The other thing is losing clients because you can't go any further with them. That might be one of the ways. They've graduated with you, they've done everything that you've had to offer, and they're ready to move on. But you could then be the one who actually refers them to another person. It might be. So if you're someone, as an example, if you're working with people who are just starting out in business, then those who are already established, have established businesses, and they're not wanting to get to six figures, they're wanting to get to seven figures, then you would have someone that you would refer them to. Okay. And for all of your clients, my friends, get testimonials. Get your testimonials. If you've been working with them and they've been getting results, I haven't had anybody say, no, I'm not comfortable giving a testimonial. Now, assuming that your people are getting results, right? And so just make sure that that's one of the things on your checklist of things to do here. So even if the client has gone as far as they are with you, it's really, really valuable to be able to have a testimonial. These can be some of your best success stories, and I would just say celebrate them as they're walking out the door. If they're done with you guys are done with the work with each other, give them shout outs. These are the ones that could be great JV partners for you who share you with others. You could even invite them to be guests if you do webinars or interviews, like on Facebook Lives. You could actually bring them on and interview them, right? Or a podcast for some of you who have podcasts. And I just want to do a big shout out to Terry K, who was at 500. You're probably at more now with your podcast. So big congratulations on that. Okay, now step 4, love the one you're with. Okay, one of the most common mistakes I think spiritual entrepreneurs continue to make is spending way too much energy on attracting new clients, and they're forgetting to make the most with the ones that they already have signed up or who have worked with them in the past. So once you have attracted a client, the hard part's over. If they're working with you and you guys are doing good work together, that hard part is over. You don't have to have them get to know you. You don't have to work on getting them to trust you. You're not having to build the relationship. You do want to maintain the relationship and nurture the relationship, but you're not beginning that process, okay? And so your reputation is built when you reward their trust with transformative growth opportunities, all right? And so that happens in the work that you do together. And it happens when you are asking the right questions. It happens when you are assessing their needs and helping them assess their needs. It happens when you're helping them identify patterns and problems, and you are providing what they need at the time they need it, okay? This involves planning ahead of time so you can anticipate the needs of your clients, but you can do that also with client feedback as well. And so just understand that those that have already been working with you, whether they are still or they were in the past, are still people that are part of your community, and an easy way for you to stay connected, all right? Okay. Step 5, plan to be consistent. Consistency is key. Consistency is key for all kinds of reasons, but we're going to stick with the topic today. It's a major factor in not letting your best clients get away. Those 3 months where you were so busy writing your book or working with your one-on-one clients and you weren't focused on those potential clients that to be continuing creating the relationship with them. Yes, sorry, I'm tripping all over my tongue today. Anyway, that's the spot where when you stop engaging on emails with them, or you stop engaging on social media with them, you stop with the posts and the groups, because it's almost like, and I see this happens a lot, where you do your marketing and you're out there and you're building relationship and you're doing the Facebook Lives and you're doing the blog posts and you're having webinars and you're sending the emails that's creating valuable content, and then you get a client or two and then everything stops. And then later you go back, well, there's a big, huge hole in your bucket right there. This is where they're going to, if not forget who you are, they're off to someone else who is actively maintaining and nurturing that relationship, okay? They're off to someone else who can answer those questions for them because you're no longer around. They're off because they feel like you just disappeared. They just got ghosted. And maybe you don't really care about them, all right? And once someone feels like that, it's really difficult to create that loyalty, right? So the rule of thumb here is the lesser the time they've known you, the more quickly they will disengage. And that just makes sense, right? So be consistent in your providing value, no matter how you do it, whether it's email, whether it's posting on your blog, whether it's here on social media, whether it's doing Facebook Lives, whether it's in your Facebook groups, if you have groups, something I highly recommend. We're going to be talking more about that in another week, and I'm going to show you how to create that for yourself and make it effective if that's something you want. But it's being consistent in your contact and your flow and anticipating what's next or what would be useful to provide for them. All right. So plan to be consistent. Step 6, feedback. Oh my gosh, feedback. This is a way that a lot of clients get away is because you're doing things in a vacuum. It might be that you're working with your paid clients and you're not really either hearing them or you're not asking for the feedback. But I always love to get feedback. I always want to know what the golden nuggets are. I want to hear from them if they've got a complaint, because I learn a lot and I know exactly what I need to do to create something specifically that's going to work for them. And of course, then there's success all the way around and there's a greater connection in the relationship, and it goes for the free stuff as well. In this group right here, we have a survey. You can see it. I'm not sure if it's under the announcements now, but it'll be under units, where I'm asking all of you, what is it you want trainings on? The top one right now, it's changing depending on the few of you who come and add to the poll. But the next one's on having conversations that convert. Guess what our next Facebook Live training is going to be about next week? Yeah, you got it, that. All right. I'm listening. I don't want to do this in a vacuum, and you don't want to either. When you have a way of getting feedback from them, it helps you identify the problems. It helps you and the gaps in your process or your programs or your services. It discovers opportunities for new programs and services. Wow, do I ever use it for that? So that I know that what I'm spending time creating is what my folks are asking for. And it also helps you just know your clients as well as you would like to. You'll know them in ways that you wouldn't if you don't ask for feedback. Lots of easy ways to build that feedback automatically into your client retention. Create the polls or surveys. You can have it as part of your email campaigns. You can have it on your Facebook groups like I have here. You can create feedback forms even on your website to do it that way. All right, ask the questions. Just post a question and invite the answers to them. You don't need to have a formal post or poll. I also would recommend, if you do, that you use multiple choice, because it's easier for people to respond rather than expecting essay questions. Even if they have good feedback, a lot of people don't want to take the time. Don't make them work too hard. That's really my bottom line on that. And don't ask vague, open-ended questions like, well, what did you find challenging about the workshop that you would like to shift? Don't ask it like that. What did you love? What would you want to see more of? Okay. Which of these 3 topics, give them multiple choice, which of these 3 topics would you like to see in our next live? Getting rid of guilt, finding your soul's purpose, or using meditation to shift blocks? So you give them some options. It makes it much easier, right? Okay. Also pay attention to your words and phrases that you use. These can literally be responsible for inviting feedback that you can use versus feedback that's really not going to give you something useful. All right. So that's step number 6. Number 7, final one. Get those fence sitters to get off the fence. Fence sitters are getting butt blisters. All right. And so this particular area of client retention is important because it doesn't just help you with the fence sitters that you already have, which could be, there's 2 sets of fence sitters. There are the fence sitters who are clients who are sitting on the fence about what to do next with you, like they're not taking the next step, or the ones that are new and they're on the fence of should I do it, should I not? All right. Those are my fence sitters. So it helps you to reel in those who are still hovering, right? They're hovers, and they have good reason for it too. But this group of clients are the ones they haven't yet invested emotionally. That's really what's going on. All right. They might have loved your webinar or your Facebook Live or reading your blog post. They might even be personally responding to the emails that you put out and talking about the value that you're offering. But they still aren't quite invested emotionally. They're not enough. They don't believe in you enough to actually invest money, or they don't believe in themselves. A lot of times they don't believe that they can do it. So they either don't believe you can do it, help them do it, or they don't believe that they can do it, even if you were trying to help them. All right. So the all important word here, believe. Believe. This is what trust and loyalty is all about. And here's how you can help both of these groups jump off of that fence. One is always make sure that you are laser focused on the caliber of client who is there for what you have to offer, the caliber of client who can afford what you have to offer. All right. You can have somebody that wants to sign up for a year's coaching more than anything with you, but if all they can offer is $97 a month and your package is $5,000, they're not going to jump, nor would you want them to. All right. So you want to make sure that you're targeting the audience for what you offer, and there's nothing you can't offer. So here's what I see happening. Well, these people can't afford it, so I need to cut my prices. I need to discount what I'm doing. No. What you need to do is find your target audience that can afford what you have to offer, sees the value in what you're offering, and understands that. All right? Otherwise, what you're doing is you are letting the population determine what your business is and what your business is about, versus this is my business, and now you attract the people that are a match for the business. Okay? Same thing with you're building a business to support your lifestyle. You are not building your lifestyle to support a business, which ends up being what a lot of people do when you don't do this very strategically at first. It's like you get the tiger by the tail instead of you leading the tiger. All right. Lots of stuff coming your way. We'll be working on all of this and helping you guys with this. But just make sure that you're laser focused on the caliber of client who can't afford what you have to offer. And that goes back to which are your ideal clients of the top 3 types of clients we talked about. All right. The other thing to help people get off the fence is, of course, creating a time frame and a reason, whether that is exclusivity or it's bonuses or deadlines. These are the things that if you don't have those in place, I have tried this, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now, we have experimented. And even those who are a yes, it's like, yeah, okay, and I'll get around to it. But the minute they find out this goes away in 24 hours, they're all over it. That's why it's not unusual for when you are offering something, and let's say it does have a deadline for whatever reason, either the bonuses go away or the price goes up or you're going to shut it down for a while, whatever that is. You're going to get a lot more of those responses in that last 24 hours. And that's why, because people just, they're going to do it, but they just need a reason to jump now. All right. So even if somebody can afford your $5,000 VIP mastermind, you want to make sure that she understands it's a time limit on it, or there's a time limit on the doors closing, or there's a or there's a number limit on the number of people who can join the program, or the bonuses go away, those kinds of things. All right. So that way people understand they can't sit on the fence forever. You know, the opportunity in its way, shape, and form right now will go away in some sort of fashion. Okay. And by the way, these people will be glad that you've done that they've gotten off the fence and now they're in action and they're starting to create results. Another thing for you to do is don't be afraid of sending reminders. We've only got 2 spots left, or it closes in 3 hours. Always send reminders to help people, because they get off on other things as well and have good intentions of joining, and then they let things get away from them. So never be afraid of doing that. And also in your follow-up. All right, follow up. That is for sure. And what you're doing when you're reminding and you're following up, you're letting them know, hey, I'm just keeping you apprised. Sometimes you'll see if you're on my email list, sometimes you'll say, okay, for all you procrastinators out there, this is to let you know it's the last bell warning, and everything's going away in an hour. All right, you can have fun with this. But just make sure that you are valuable, offering lots of value clearly, and then you also follow up. Continue the regular interaction, even with those that are not choosing to join you. Do that through the Facebook groups, through your email campaigns. Really get good at anticipating what your divine clients need and providing that when they need it. Providing hard to find resources is another way of sharing with them, offering top-notch client care and customer service. And that doesn't mean getting a good automated help desk, although that can be one of the aspects of it, but it means you being there when they need you, being present on your social media platforms or in your Facebook groups, answering questions and interacting, having a way to reach you by email, those kinds of things. You get to decide what that looks like for you. But this all just lets people know, I care. I care. Okay. Yes. All right. So those are the 7 steps. If any of you would like a checklist of these, then let me know in the comments below with hashtag 7 steps. How's that? Hashtag 7 steps, whether you're watching right now, whether you're on the replay. I'll be coming back in and checking, and I'll make sure you get the list of the 7 steps and explaining what they are, so you kind of have that in front of you. And if you want to get yourself positioned to attract high-end clients, make sure you sign up for my upcoming Attracting High-End Clients live workshop. We're going to be holding it right here in this group. However, being a member of this group does not doesn't qualify you to participate in the workshop and be eligible for all the prizes and the gifts and the giveaways and the coaching with me and the interaction with me, okay? You do still need to sign up. And if you look at the header, it says attractinghighendclients.com. That's where you sign up so that you're on the list. I am going to be sending emails out. You will be seeing things that people in the group who have not signed up will not see, although we will be doing the actual workshop right here. Lots of bonuses, lots of goodies coming your way. Plus, my team and I will be working with you directly to make sure that you're getting what you need as part of the workshop. And we start the festivities on Monday. It's a week before the workshop. We're going to be in here. We're going to have opportunities for prizes and interaction and giveaways. We're going to get you set up so that when we do start the workshop on January 18th, you're going to have already hit the street running. All right, so the official start date is January 18th. The pre-work festivities start next week on Monday. I guess that's the 11th. I don't know. I don't have my calendar. All right, just know that during the time that we're doing this, you're going to get positioned so that you are positioned and your messaging and what you represent for yourself is attracting your divine high-end clients. So positioning yourself at the top of your market, we're going to show you how to do that. Build an audience of high-end clientele who want what you have to offer and can afford it and see the value of that. We're going to help you with that. Defining your sweet spot and your premium offer, your first premium offer. We're going to help you with that. Building connection and your rapport online. We're going to help you with that, and also help you design a client experience that wows. All right, it is fun, it is free, there will be giveaways and prizes and lots of interaction and coaching with me. So join us for the pre-workshop festivities next week. Sign up, attractinghighendclients.com, and the sooner you join, the sooner you can participate in all the festivities. So thank you for being here. We'll be right back here with Conversations That Converts next week, and even a week full of festivities for those of you who are signing up for the attractinghighendclients.com. All right, big heart hugs, lots of love. Mwah. Bye for now.